morning to all to the today's meeting.
Good morning.
Good morning all fellow Toastmaster and the guests all present here. So it is welcome to the 38th meeting of Whitefield Toastmaster. I am Piyush. I am the Sadhini term in today's meeting. So I hope we all are energized for today's meeting. Please give a thumbs up to me. So before starting this meeting, I just want to give you understanding what is the mission of our Toastmaster. So hope we all can repeat together the mission of a Toastmaster. So let's make it little more appealing. Let's keep your hand like this and repeat the mission of our Toastmaster. Can we start?
Yes.
So we provide, let's speak with me. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Hope we all align with this thoughts first. This is not an mission. Hope we all align with this thought.
Yes.
And hope this thought helps us to grow and part of this journey and grow as a better speaker in future. So with that, I am just sharing some thumb rule of today's meeting, which we need to follow to maintain the decorum of the meeting. Yeah. So these 3 rules are very easy. At the same time, we need to follow to maintain the decorum of the meeting. The first and a very simple rule: please switch off your mobile phone or keep it in a silent mode. That helps all of us not to disturb the speaker or any audience in today's meeting. So we can do the same within 5 seconds. So the count starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hope you all switched off your mobile phone or keep it in a silent mode.
Yes.
Great. Thanks for being such a cooperative audience today. And with that, the second rule, it's very simple. Just don't interrupt when the speaker is speaking, or don't do any body gesture or body movement when the meeting is going on, which helps the meeting speakers and audience not to get disturbed during the meeting. And the third one, but not the least, refrain using the taboo topic like sex, politics, or religion during the meeting. So these are 3 thumb rules we need to follow for today's meeting to maintain the decorum of the meeting. Hope you all align. Give a thumbs up. Thanks. So with that, I want to share a couple of informations with you which will help you to do the act, to help you in today's meeting, I can say. So I know I'm taking a lot of your time and I'm a little boring now. So, but yeah, these 3 rules I want to share with you. So for the washroom, those who want to use the washroom, it is in a downstairs to the corner. And for the water, you can go outside. It's near to the ladder. You can use the aquavert for drinking water. And for your information, this meeting will be recorded, or the video will be shared on the YouTube. So those who want to not get recorded themselves or himself or herself, so please inform Toastmaster Kevin to stop the recording so that he or she not get recorded in the particular video. So these are some information I'd like to share. So without doing any further delay, I want to call our presiding officer of today's meeting. He is a product manager and a seasoned professional in finance and banking domain. He loves gardening. He loves talking to people, and he is the sole reason of such a big audience in today's meeting. He's none other than our VP membership of the club, our presiding officer, Toastmaster Raj. Over to you to rock the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yush, for that wonderful opening speech and the attributes on how we need to conduct the meeting. I would request if you can take your seat. So, my name is Raj and I would be playing the role of presiding officer today. I'm currently serving as a VP membership. I would officially like to start meeting number 30. Meeting number 30 is very special because of the theme. It says Jugaad. While I was coming on my way for the meeting, I was thinking what would be the best Jugaad. Because we Indians, we excel in doing Jugaad. Since I am born in the mid-80s, I know better in terms of doing Jugaad and all. So we generally have our meeting on the second floor of this venue. So we were informed at 10 a.m. that the meeting will be scheduled to take place on the first floor. So immediately we got together our racks and we did some Jugaad and we got the meeting done at first floor itself. So thanks to everyone who contributed in doing that. We have some special announcements which I'll be making towards the end of the meeting. And we have around 3.5 lakh clubs around the world. And around the North Karnataka region and Bangalore, we have around 150 clubs. We are one of them. There is a huge community out there who wants to improve their public speaking and communication skills. We have a huge respect for them, and so do I have for all the guests and team members who are part of this meeting today. Now for the club, there are a couple of important announcements which will be going ahead and taking at the end of the meeting. Winners of the meeting will be announced at the end of the meeting itself. There is a voting link QR code which has been pasted on the left of my pillar wall. If you are unable to reach that, do not worry. The same will be shared with you on the WhatsApp group. There is a QR code which will be passed on to you for your attendance. Request everyone to please fill in the details, and it is mandatory, by the way. There is a special section in the form which talks about taking roles and responsibilities for the next meeting. I would request people to come forward and take that up. It helps the VP Education team to plan for the next meetings in a better way. Now, to take the meeting forward, in any ceremony, there is one person who takes the entire show on his shoulders. Let me introduce someone who we call whom we call the master of the ceremony in Toastmasters. This is the person who sets the theme and the base of the entire meeting. So he is currently the VP Education and of the club and loves traveling, gardening, MBA by education, banking professional, works in the Southeast Asian market. And before that, before I hand over the stage to him, there is a famous quote by Shalini Maurya which says, anyone who can do a Jugaad is an engineer. So he happens to be one of them. He's not an engineer by profession, but he does a lot of Jugaad in the club. So without further ado, I would like to call upon the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, President Officer Raj, for the warm welcome, and very good morning to all my dear guests as well as members. The theme for today is Jugaad. Very simple theme, very Indian theme. And to describe this Jugaad, what's the meaning of it, we just need two words. First thing is, it's a non-convention. Second thing, it's a frugal innovation. Yes, you heard it right? All Jugaads are innovations. Though we don't look at Jugaads are innovation, but trust me, though they are innovations. Very simple example, President of the Raj did mention today, that the location was not available. This is not conventional because usually this doesn't happen that just right at the start of the event you get to be informed that okay, location is not available, what to do now. But thanks to a team, we did a jugaad and now we have this location well set up before 10:30. Another best example which we all Indians should be proud of is the jugaad done by ISRO. Not many people would say it's innovation, but let me give a comparison of NASA versus ISRO. If you are aware of the Apollo 13, Apollo 13 program, the cost of that was 180 billion USD. Just imagine that number in your mind. 180 billion USD. That's the cost of 13 spacecraft which they were supposed to launch. Few of them they were not able to launch. And India, on other side, ISRO had done 3 moon programs till now. Chandrayaan 3 is the most recent one. And the cost of Chandrayaan 3 was only 600 crore. Now, if I divide this 180 billion USD by 13, because there are 13 Apollo programs, and convert to INR, it is roughly 1 lakh crore. Compare 1 lakh crore and compare 600 crore. That's how we Indians operate. Innovation, and especially the frugal innovation which we refer to as Jugaad, is in our blood. NASA had rockets which could land their spacecraft onto moon within a very short time. We, on the other hand, did not have that technology. We developed our own slow rockets. It took more time, but at least we are successful. That's one of the best Jugaad example that I can give to you as an Indian. I'm proud of it. Coming back to the theme, coming back to Toastmasters meeting. For everyone's benefit, let me just reiterate how the Toastmaster meeting is structured. A usual Toastmaster meeting is of 3 parts. First one is prepared speeches, where our members prepare their speeches according to the base camp and come and deliver it. The second is table topic. Table topic is something where not just the members but also the guests get opportunity to come here and speak for 2 minutes on impromptu topics. And the third and most important is the general evaluation, which helps us improve ourselves as well as the meeting. Today, we are having a speech marathon, and to manage time, we have done 1 jugaad. We would not be having table topic session. Instead, I as a TMOD would be inviting you from time to time to take up certain impromptu topics. Timer, please note the time would be 1 to 2 minutes with a 30 seconds grace time, same as table topic. Right. So with this, the theme is Jugaad. I want to start this meeting not with prepared speaker, but an impromptu speaker. Would anyone would like to come up and take up this opportunity? Please move in. So Toastmaster Mukul, the topic for you is the best jugaad that you have done in your life. The best jugaad that you have done in your life, Toastmaster Mukul.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, best jugaad in my life, right? I'm going to talk in a different way. In my home, starting from morning till end of day or before we go to bed, every time we are doing some jugaad. Honestly. So let's give an example. Generally, what happened in my home, we always do some kind of planning. What will be our breakfast tomorrow morning? What will be lunch and what will be the dinner? That's how we plan it. And every morning, I'll have something is not available. Then I have to do some immediate jugaad. So that's happened regular basis. For example, my daughter is going to school and give some breakfast or lunch at school, right? Something is missing, okay. So then I told my wife, do one thing, instead of egg, give something else, okay? So that's how it is. Similarly, for example, I generally use my car to go to office. However, what happened is I saw that today is very bad traffic. I'm not going to go take my car. So what I generally do is I generally tell my wife to I have a scooter. you may drop to this year, this place, some place. Maybe it could be Marathali or it could be Kundanali, anywhere, because my office is toward Bagman Tech Park, right? So this is again a Jugaad. So every day I see at my home, we are doing time to time some innovations translate into Jugaad in my day-to-day life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mukul. And now I am pretty clear, everyone is clear of what today's theme is, which is Jugaad. Going forward now, I would like to invite the general evaluator for today to take the section ahead. He is an aerospace engineer for almost past a decade and a very active Toastmaster. He is also part of Associate Executive Committee. He is playing the role of Associate VP Education. And he is currently a very apt speaker, aerospace engineer who has been working for almost past 1 decade in Bangalore. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you, Team Modi, for the generous introduction. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Jugaad. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, General Evaluator Akshay dished for playing the role of General Evaluator at the very last moment. Then VP Education did some final arrangements or the last moment arrangements because the club meeting cannot be done or conducted without a General Evaluator. That last moment arrangement is called Jugaad. Right, guys? Another example. Recently, the battery of my bike got drained and I was on an offbeat road, so I had to ask for help from some of the strangers. And stranger tied a rope between his vehicle and my vehicle and dragged me and my bike till the next service station. Conventionally, I must have called this towing vehicle, right? But that rope between his vehicle and my vehicle, what is that called? Jugaad. So that's about the theme of the day. Before I go towards my role, I would like to ask you guys a question. Does anyone of you remember the logo of Amazon?
Yes.
Right? If you remember correctly, there is an arrow which connects A to Z, right?
Yes.
So, my role for the day as general evaluator is to evaluate the meeting right from the A till the Z, right from the beginning till the end. And it is a huge role and huge responsibility, so initially I was a little worried. But 3 kind-hearted souls nominated themselves to help me share the load of general evaluation. These are my weapons for the day, so I'll call them as Tag Astra, Timer, R-Counter, and Grammarian. And now I would like to request these guys to come in the same order and explain their role. Timer Arpita, who is a software professional and being an engineer who knows Jugaad better than her. Please.
Good morning, everyone. So today, I'm Arpita and I'll be a timer for today. I'll be helping all the speakers, general evaluators, and the everyone to just give their speech in the allotted time. So we have these cards which help us to do that. So this is the green card, which will be the qualifying time. The next is the yellow card, which will help us to give the target time the speaker has achieved. And this is the end time that at which I'll be giving it is done. And then we have 30 seconds of grace period. So, thank you.
Thank you, timer. So next role is of R-Counter. Our R-Counter for the day is Toastmaster Vikas. He's a tech lead in a software company. And recently he was telling me a story how he did a Jugaad back at his home, which helped him a lot with his back pain. So you can tell a little bit about that and explain your role as well. Please. Thank you.
Good morning, White Hill Toastmasters.
Good morning.
How many of you did the Jugaad and felt proud of yourself anytime? So nice. Even I believe that we Indians are very much excellent in doing Jugaad in day-to-day life. I did also. So recently I was facing like suffering from back pain, and I did a simple jugaad. I took my laptop stand and put over the desk because of my sitting more number of hours in sitting. So I was feeling that, and I wanted to spend around 30,000 rupees for sit a stand desk. So this gave me the flexibility by doing this jugaad, and I was able to do sit and stand frequently. So I felt awesome doing the jugaad. Okay, so fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, today I will be playing the role of R counter. So basically, the purpose of the R counter is like what we use, the speaker use on like during their speech, filler words or the crutch sounds. So I will be recording the crutch sounds like filler words like and, so, then, but, etc. And filler phrases also like you know, right, and so, you mean. These words I will be recording and I will present at the end of the meeting the report in the what numbers of like these filler words and the crunch sounds speaker. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Arman, for the cast, and I'll remember that jugaad of yours if I can use that in my personal life if needed. The next weapon, my weapon for the day is Grammarian, and Grammarian is usual. Before I call him, I'll just like to tell you guys where he works. He works for a company who produces beer. So I get my incentive and I go to the beer shop and then I buy beer. He gets incentive in form of beer itself. Great one. Toastmaster, please.
For your wonderful introduction. And so today as a grammarian, my role is to basically introduce a word of the day, which for today is serendipity. Serendipity means fact of finding something valuable or interesting by accident or something pleasant happening by chance. So an example of this is to find Sachin Tendulkar sitting next to me in the plane was true serendipity for a fan like me. I'll just take a little more of your time to explain the difference between serendipity and luck. I'll just give you a small example of that. Winning a lottery ticket is luck, but finding a winning lottery ticket in your pocket, that is serendipity. More than this, my role as a grammarian is to observe all the role taker speeches, prepared speeches, and even I would say table topic speeches, which are today for like the impromptu speeches done by Toastmaster of the day Piyush. I will observe the good usage of the language, the not so good usage of the language, and I will also implore you guys to show a thumbs up whenever a person uses serendipity, so that it is a form of appreciation for that person. And at the end, when I will be called by the General Secretary Akshay, I would present my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grammarian, and you explained your role really well. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much, guys, for letting us explain our respective roles. The gate team, Grammarian, our counter, timer, and general evaluator myself will come at the end of the meeting and deliver our respective reports. Over to you, team.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. Now we would like to start our first session, which is prepared speeches. Today we have 4 speeches, 2 of them are icebreakers, and I would like to invite Toastmaster Satyendra for the reading of the objectives of the first 2 speeches. Just a few kind words about him. He is a health enthusiast. Whenever you go to SJ in morning, you will see him running. And trust me, when he is not in Toastmaster on any of the weekends, you will see him trekking or mountain climbing. That's what our Toastmaster Satyendra is. As well as, he is also part of our executive committee and he is the secretary for the club. Over to you, Toastmaster Satyendra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Piyush, for the kind words. So, Jugaad. Many people have done the Jugaad in their life. I would like to tell you my story of a Jugaad. I had two old laptops in my house. For one, the screen was broken. The other one, motherboard was done. Somehow I managed to take parts out of one and assembled a laptop which was fully functional. So that was one of my Jugaad. Another one which I want to tell you is, all of you must be knowing this Jugaad. I'm pretty sure. So, as a child, right, you must be liking pizzas and rolls, right? Now, you cannot have it daily and your mother won't let you do it. So, what she used to do? She used to make parathas, roll the curry in it and used to serve you so that you feel that you are having a roll. So that is some Jugaad you must have known in your life.
Yes.
Coming to the evaluation section, we have two prepared speeches today and they are delivering their annual P1 icebreakers. The objective of the speech is to introduce them to the club as well as to learn the basic structure of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Piyush.
Can we have the applause going, ladies?
Just note, the first two speakers are icebreaker, and at the end I would like everyone to give them a standing applause. The first speaker today is a principal solution architect. For many people, these words might have gone above their head. What he does is very simple. There are not many applications, software application. He just have to manage which application goes where and in what precedence, in simple words. Right. And with this, I would like to invite our first speaker, Toastmaster Nitin. Toastmaster Nitin, fortune favors the sincere focus and perseverance efforts. Fortune favors the sincere focus and perseverance efforts. Toastmaster Nitin.
इतनी शिद्दत से मैंने तुम्हें पाने की कोशिश की है कि हर जर्रे ने मुझे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश की है। कहते हैं कि अगर किसी चीज को तुम दिल से चाहो तो सारी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश में लग जाती है। A very popular dialogue from a movie, Om Shanti, that translates to, if you wish something from the bottom of your heart, the entire universe conspires to make it happen for you. Hello everyone, I am Nitin Kumar. And I wish you a very good morning.
Good morning.
Today, I am going to share a story with you of such universal conspiracy that I experienced in my life. I was born in a hamlet Raju, Colliery. Colliery means coal mines. I grew up as a child in colliery settlements meant for employees, primarily laborers and miners. In such an environment, it was quite easy that my life would have been drifted towards anything, including uncertainty. And I thank my parents for all the good education they have provided, imbibed the value of education in my early life, and kept me away from all such influences that could have negatively impacted my life. Being said that, I completed my school, went to an engineering college, and graduated as an engineer in the year 2001. The very first engineer of my entire family. That year was also special for me because I got my first job in the same year. And there is an interesting story behind it. And let me tell you that. When I was in my final year of engineering, the campus was abuzz with murmurs of many multinational companies visiting our college for campus recruitment. It was a golden opportunity for me from people who are coming from a very humble background. I set my eyes on this opportunity and determined to get at least one job into one company. That year, I applied several companies, and I must tell you that I failed. I failed hard. I failed pathetically. In some interviews during the initial round, in some of them during the final round, but majority of my failures were coming from group discussions and communication round because of the lack of my command on English. As time was passing, I realized that there is a big wall of English between me and my first job. And I was not able to figure out a way to get past through it. As the time was phasing, I was losing hope. Every day it was fading away to land a job. But what I did, I persisted, I stayed focused, and I continued with my preparation. And one of the fortunate day, one fine morning, which I still remember vividly and clearly, it was February 20, 2001, just before the day of Mahashivratri. I woke up early, got ready, prayed, and went straight to the lab, logged into the shared computer, and started recap of the questions for that day's interview. Just by chance, I happened to notice a file named English Practice Questions, probably stored by some of my fellow students. I quickly opened it and grabbed as much as I can before heading to the venue. The first round of logical and aptitude went smooth and I cleared it easily. Then came the dreaded second round of communication. I received the question paper with trembling hands. And as I was glancing through it, there was no bound to my joy because the questions that I have seen just an hour ago, they were the same questions I was seeing in the question paper also. With sheer luck, I was able to clear the second round as well. Now, I was waiting for the third round quite fearfully, which was group discussion. But as fate would have destined it, for some unknown reason, the company decided to call off the third round as well. And I was on my way towards the final round, which is in-person interview. Everything that was happening by this time, it was unbelievable for me. It was like a deja vu. With the feeling of deja vu growing bigger in my stomach, I slowly entered the interview room. After sharing some initial pleasantries, the interviewer decided to pick up the subject, which was transducers and signal conditioners. It happened to be my favorite subject through the engineering years. There is no guesses to tell that I outperformed that interview beyond my own standards. And when I came out of that room, I was happy and content. The hardest part of that event was over, and now the excruciating pain of waiting for the result began. Finally, after 2 hours, the result came out, and I made it. I cannot explain in words that how I felt that particular day. After fronting for more than 6 companies in a row, on that particular fateful day, everything turning in my favor was just unreal. Be it clearing the first round with ace, be it finding the set of questions an hour before the interview, the same questions appearing again in the interview questions, cancellation of the group discussion round, and the evaluator picking up my favorite subject. It was all unreal, it was all unbelievable. Whatever you call it, but for me, it was a masterstroke of serendipity. With that in mind, the only thing I did was I persisted, I stayed focused, and I always have an unwavering attitude to persevere until I see the end of it. Until today, I carry the same principles wherever I go, and they have helped me in overcoming many difficult situations in my life. But does it mean that I am done with my milestones? The answer is pure no. There are many more dreams to fulfill. There are many more unfinished business to be done. And that's why people say that अभी और अगर ख्वाब तुम्हारे दिलों में जिंदा है तो पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. Thank you very much everybody.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin, for your icebreaker speech. Now we have time for table topic. Anyone would like to volunteer or should I pick? Please come. Hi, Ritesh. So the topic for you is Toastmaster Ritesh, when Jugaad backfires. When Jugaad backfires, Toastmaster Ritesh.
Good morning, Toastmasters and fellow guests. So we have all heard about Jugaad today, and it brings the spirit of innovation, creativity, and frugality. But often, if we are not careful, it can backfire also. So I can give you an example. In rural areas, you will see many times villagers, they will create some vehicles out of different motorcycle, part of a tractor, and they will load lot of luggage on it, and they will use the highways, expressways, and oftentimes you will see those are the vehicles that are the reason for a lot of accidents. And this is a classic case where it is a jugaad, it is helping them in their daily life, but it also backfires also. So we should always be careful and use jugaad carefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritesh. Now it's time for another icebreaker. And this time, we have a software product manager who also aspires to be a leader and is currently also pursuing a executive MBA from IIM Bangalore. She has many hobbies and one of them is singing. And later on you can definitely connect with her to get a link to her YouTube channel where a lot of her videos are there. With this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Revati. Toastmaster Revati, from laziness to industriousness, from industriousness to laziness, Toastmaster Revati.
Thank you, Piyush. Let me start with a quote. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Polo Kolo. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I was born in a small town, Kanyanad, in Kerala. I lived with my parents and elder brother. I was a very lazy child, lazier and irresponsible than any of your imagination. My brother was completely opposite to me. Every day, he tried to wake me up in the morning to attend tuition classes. I got up only when my neighboring friend got ready and landed at my home. When I rushed and completed my morning ablutions, she packed my lunch and books. We both landed late to the tuition classes, and our strict tuition master made us stand outside the classroom. After a few days, we both started sitting in the porch of the neighboring temple and started finishing our homework. This is a glimpse of it. At home, only duty for me was to study, and that's what I hated. My grandmother had brought up my mom with lots of bias as a girl child. As per her, girls should not study, girls should not eat first, girls should do all work at home, the list goes. My mother challenged this while bringing me up. She made my brother to do all the work at home. This added my misery. I could not escape from studies for the sake of helping her. Days passed. My 10th standard result was out. I got 79%. I was normal, but my mother and my brother, they were sad. They were worried about my plus 2 admission. They wanted me to study in the same school where I studied till 10th. I wanted to change the school because I did not want to wear the same uniform I was wearing from 8th standard. My brother made a clear point. If you are studying in the school, you study. If not, you sit at home. After thunderstorm at home next few days. I got admission to this same school due to my bad luck or good luck and influence from a reputed student, my brother. Till now, I am the student with least marks studied in that school. Teachers were very talented and dedicated. Two things changed after I started my +1 classes. One is I got exposure to quality education. Another thing, my brother, he started his engineering and he moved to the farthest end of Kerala. Now, I had two options, either study myself or fail miserably. I started picking up things slowly and I started excelling. I have traveled a long way from this turning point in my life. I have improved a lot from where I was. Today, I stand here in front of all of you not to give a perfect icebreaker speech, but to improve from where I am today to a better me tomorrow with all of your help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmasters, for the fantastic icebreaker speech. And now, again, it's time for a table topic. I would need one volunteer. Please, Sukesh. Toastmaster Sukesh, what innovation inspires you the most? What innovations inspire you the most, Toastmaster Sukesh?
Okay, thank you, Piyush. I would like to say a story when I used to Nobel Prize. In villages, olden days as a child, voltage problem. You will get instead of 230 volt, normally we get 24 volt. It's a little technical. Same time, because and light will be very low when you cannot read. So, as you know, radio, golden radio or tape recorder, inside would transformer. You also see, and that exactly give 24 volt. If you give 230 volt this side, we get 24 volt this side. I thought transformer is a transformer. The formula is N1 by N2 to P1 by P2. Basic physics. Why don't you use as a reverse? That means 24 volt. Why don't you connect to main supply and get 230 this side? Perfect. Science wise is perfect. One fine day, nobody was in my house. I did exactly the same. Nobody was in the house. I just connected, switched on. You all know what to happen. Just fire come out of the transformer. So that transformer formula really is formula wise is very step up to bring it. But if you without understanding science you apply it, it means a big field. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sukesh. Now I have to have another volunteer for table topic. Please come. Toastmaster Harshini, the first Jugaad that changed your life, the first Jugaad that you recall changed your life. Toastmaster Harshini.
I'm not sure of any particular Jugaad that I have done. Like, I've did my B.Tech. Normally during engineering days, we will do night outs and all. Normally in the beginning I used to read till 1 month before the exam. But when I slowly come to my final years, I got used to friends and all. I ended up studying just before the night. So it's not like any Jugaad and all. We used to be in all the Xerox shops till 6:30, 7:30 night. We got the Xerox right before the exam. And then we never used to sleep. We used to study all day and also mostly we kind of share the topics. I used to read like 3 chapters, my friend another 2. Like we used to share the study within just like 30 minutes or so we shared our knowledge. So yeah, it's kind of a Jugaad feeling. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Well, listening to a speech, I remember one thing. When I was in my college days, there was certain serendipity that had given me lot many marks. That is, the 2 toppers, not exactly topper, any random guy would discuss a topic. I would just come to them right before the exam, listen what they're saying, and fortunately, something out of that discussion would come in the exam. And because of that, I always used to get at least 5 to 10 minutes. This is how scientifically I have gotten lot many marks in my college days, because as an engineer, we always study at the last moment. For a year now, we will not do anything, but at the one night before exam, all the preparation used to happen. And now we have another speech by Toastmaster Eden, which is an L1 E3. And for that, we have an evaluator who is a project manager with a leading FMCG client. She is a creative person and loves cooking, listening to old melodies and lot many things. She has been a veteran Toastmasters in District 98 in Ahmedabad, and once she moved to Bangalore. She decided to join our club. And with this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Radha to read out the opportunity.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. A special one to our speaker, Aiden. Our speaker is going to attempt his level 1, project 3, and the purpose for the same is for him to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance his speech. He also wants to give an additional speech, and that is to look for his facial expressions. We really look forward to your speech. Break a leg, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Piyush.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Now, speaking of the next speaker, he is doing his L1 P3 within the first month of joining Toastmasters, and he's really on a fast pace. Speaking about himself, he loves football, he loves music, and is one of the guys who loves cooking as well. And speaking to him, I just realized his best hack that he had done was the medical proof for skipping college and attendance. That had helped him sleep a lot longer. And with this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Eden for his speech. Toastmaster Eden, breaking a leg, Toastmaster Eden.
Good morning, crowd. Good morning. How many times have you all felt like giving up? I, for one, have experienced that make or break moment. You know, we all have those moments which make us feel like we're not good enough, moments which can instill fear into ourselves, and moments which ask of us to give up on our dreams and die inside, or show resilience and rise. Today, let us all wander away to a place where you can relive my moment. I'll paint this room vividly, not with a brush, but through my words. Fellow wanderers of Whitefield Toastmasters, are you ready? Yes! My day began long before sunrise that day. Can I do it? Can I actually do it? When have you done anything even minutely close to this? Back out now. You tip the scales from ambition to overestimation. Self-doubt had already pushed me to the brink of giving up. After all, it was not every day that you run a marathon. Quite a long journey lied in front of me. The marathon was in Mysore and I was in Bangalore. I got on my bike and reached the pickup point as my master in charge had instructed. There, I saw my master on the phone, infuriated. Wake up, Shubham! Wake up, Shivam! If those two had nightmares then, master brought those nightmares to reality. I needed to choose my first set of words to him carefully to avoid any harm's way. Once, during training, I asked him, Master, is my technique mighty? He responded, I'll show you, Aiden. I should have figured it out there. I looked at the punching bag, awaiting a demo, but he ended up kicking me. Oh, Master, you missed a little too well. And little did I know, my technique was not mighty. For the Suddenly, that moment hit me, and that technique was not might. The journey to Mysore was quick, and not a moment's sleep did I get. At 6 a.m., we reached our start point as I looked at the menacing coast. A farmland in Srirangapatna, cattle on one side, wheat on the other. Also quite a lot of droppings here and there. It resembled an obstacle course. In the final moments of preparation, we took our positions, readied our stopwatches, and set forth with eyes locked. The countdown began. 10, 9, my fear building within as I swallowed in the leaking fear. 3, 2, 1. With guns blazing, I started the marathon. Ran with full energy, confidence for a very long, fabulous 10 minutes. Ouch. I completed 1.5K. I got this. My warm and sweaty palm had melted the packaging paint of the water bottle I was carrying in hand. And unknowingly, I rubbed the paint onto my face. Master said, Aiden, you became Hulk. I told you don't do steroids. I saw my face. He wasn't kidding. I assumed my job only to be stopped again. But an idea struck me and I ran. Master, I'll sweat the paint out. For the next 2 kilometers, I walked this earth as a green-faced man. When the townsfolk looked at me, they all saw me in awe. But soon the pain started to creep in. The mind games began. I looked at my watch and saw a distance of 5K. How can it be 5K? It felt as if 10 was dusted. Can I actually do this? Time and pain hit me in the blind spot of my hour. There, I felt like giving up for the first time. But at that make or break moment, I got a helping hand. This lady was still running. She came to me and said, "You can do it. You have that in you." Her words sparked a drive within me, mending my broken will. I picked myself up and continued the path for as long as I could. 7K, 8K, the pain intensified. My jog reduced to a walk. My heart was pounding so heavily. I looked up at the skies, ready to give in a second time. Suddenly, someone tapped on my shoulder. "Bro, 8K done. Come on." His encouragement ignited a fire. I then summoned every last bit of strength my body had in reserve and began again with what very little was left. When I started this time, my knees had immense pain. Below that was even worse. The way I ran took a weird form, but my body kept on going. But I managed very little to 9K, but my body refused to go any further. Limit. If I can't run any further, I'll walk till 10. Fortitude fueled my broken legs, and I endured, but not for long. Master came, and put my path to a stop. Well done, Aiden. You can stop now. You've almost completed it, but you're well beyond time. In a staggering 1 hour and 53 minutes, I completed 10.5k out of 12k, bringing the tale of what I almost could to a close with what I almost did. My fellow wanderers, Aiden the marathon runner would like to tell you today, no matter how much pain you're in or how deep down you're in the rabbit hole, the people who you surround yourself with can help you conquer your setbacks, even if you feel you don't, and thereby bring out the very best in you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aiden, the marathon runner, for narrating your beautiful experience. Now, again, it's time for another table topic. Do I have any volunteers? Yeah, please, man, come. Toastmaster Manu, the Jugaad which everyone thought will not work but work. The Jugaad that everyone thought will not work but work. Toastmaster Manu.
I won't say something like a technical stuff for just Jugaad here. Like I would say the motivation and the target that you set to go for somewhere where you want to reach. Because I myself, I started my engineering in civil engineering. Then my father, and while watching films or while exploring the internet or having some new fancy apps, I always think about how these guys code these things, how these guys think about this, bringing this AI and all these things, how they sum up all these things into the one app and work with all these patients. So they must be having some hacky tricks, hacky solutions behind it, which is a Jugaad of course. But I myself found, while having this thought, I myself found myself sitting in a computer engineering second year because my father transferred me from civil engineering to a software engineering, which I never thought. Of course, serendipity I found in their place. So from that moment, I started to learn and started to learn about the hacky tricks they use. Of course, the console logs and whatever tricks that they try to bring in the UI. Like the console logs, of course, means whatever data that you fetch from your SQL and whatever that you fetch from your backend. You can see that in your. Of course, even some of the guys making memes. I saw that 2 weeks back while watching an IPL match final. They were able to console log the IPL data in whatever data the incoming users, the amount of users, about the confidential data were on production. So they were making memes out of it. Of course, sometime I think they missed the Jugaad, of course. That's all. Thank you.
Now it's time for the last speech of today, and I would like to invite someone for his evaluation. That someone is a project consultant working in EY and has been a Toastmaster in this club and few others for almost 3 years. And he is also currently serving as the VP PR for Earth. Toastmaster Kevin.
So today I'm being evaluator for Atul, who will be attempting his L2B1 speech. And time of these notes, it's a 5 to 7 minute speech. And since the theme is Jugaad, I'm someone who is very much close to this speech. I would like to say a small, very tiny, I would say one of the best Jugaads that I've seen in recent times. So there's a reason why I like to travel in train, especially in the general compartment, like the sleeper compartment. The reason is, and first of all, I like the upper berth. The reason is my height. I can put my leg outside. and it won't cut anyone's head if someone is passing by. So that's the whole idea. And then, so this was Diwali season, if I'm not wrong, and the train was crowded. I don't even look into the general compartment because it is like people on top of each other and they're comfortable. So, but in sleeper compartment, the overflow started coming in and people started lying on the floor and all. Now, here comes these chaps, like there are around 10 people. They come with some kind of a cloth, like a long, I think it's a blanket, it's a strong cloth. And I'm lying on the upper berth, I'm just looking at what these guys are going to do now. There's no place to sleep. So they said, he told me, Bhaiya, ye pakdo. He gave me the cloth. And basically, the ramp, I mean, we have a ladder and you climb onto the top. So you have a handle to hold to get onto the top. He tied the one side of the blanket on that handle and the other side of the blanket on the other handle. And he made it a hammock. And he slept. And interesting, I paid $450. He's sleeping nicely, I mean, for free. And TTR didn't come till now. Then suddenly I hear a shout from TTR. Like he comes in to this compartment. He's like, "Ye kya hai? Sabhi log utro, upar se utro." And I was just at that moment was like a moment of serendipity. The reason being, I just looked to the side. Like this guy is lying in front of me. I was just looking to the side. His whole gang is lying in the same way. So basically, the compartment is like there's no light in the compartment because above them is a light. They have fan, light, everything, and they're enjoying it for free. So, but this is like one of the examples of Jugaad, like one of the best Jugaads that I've seen. And with this, I would like to call upon, back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kevin, for narrating this wonderful new experience of Jugaad. And trust me, there's not just people who do these things, even the railways have done this thing. So if you recall, on one side there are two berths, on the side berth. There was a time when Lalu Prasad was the railway minister, he had introduced a third berth there. Later on it was cancelled. That's when the Jugaad tried by Indian Railways. Now, inviting our next speaker who will be delivering his L2P1 speech. He is a person born in Kolkata, brought in Varanasi, has seen almost a lot of North India, has now recently moved to Bangalore, which is still a startup running out of Kolkata in an offline mode. I'd like to invite Toastmaster Atul. Toastmaster Atul, Captain Cool, Toastmaster Atul.
Dhoni finishes off in a strike. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lives the World Cup after 28 years. The party starts in the dressing room and it's the Indian captain who has been magnificent in the night of the final. How many of you experienced serendipity at this moment? Did it ring a bell? Of course it did. Of course everyone remembers this incident. This was the moment India lifted the World Cup after 28 years. Who did it? It was due to the brilliance of team players? Yes. Support staff? Yes. Management? Yes. And blah blah. But there has to be a reason why there is a commonality between the team that won the World Cup T20 for the first time, the team that won the World Cup 50-50, between the team that has won multiple IPL trophies, between the team that won the Champions Trophy for the first time. There has to be a reason why there is a commonality. They all were won in different settings, in different countries, yet the same captain. Ladies and gentlemen, I was so much inspired by the Indian cricket captain's mentality that I tried to imitate him and tried to imbibe his footprints. Emulating him is no simple thing. what it takes to be Captain Cool. What it takes to be Captain Cool. There has to be ice in veins, nerves of steel, cool as cucumber, even in desperate times. You have to find Jugaad even in desperate times. That is what it takes to be a Captain Cool. And to me, there was a further dilemma. Over the years, I was raised with a mentality of being a hardcore mindset. I have lived my entire life with this hardcore mindset. Let me help you all embark through my leadership style, which is very unique, wherein there is an intriguing combination of Captain Cool and hardcore mindset. What are the characteristics of this unique fusion? First, fearless decision making. What does it mean to have a fearless decision making? How did I develop this? When I used to go out with my friends to do some dangerous pranks, what I used to do was that I used to be the flag bearer. I used to be the one who used to be at the front and take the responsibility of all these activities. That's how I developed this. Secondly, tactics playing. How do you do this? You try to assess the opponents and try to identify their strengths and weaknesses, and then make your own pathways according to this. Thirdly, friends first approach. You create a small group, but therein that small group, you create an environment with mutual trust, mutual respect. Fourth, rigid execution. Why this is required? You have done everything, but what it is of use if it is not executed flawlessly? And lastly, but not the least, relentless determination, relentless work ethic. Over the years, I have tried to extend my physical and mental capabilities by devoting time and hours into this. I would like every one of you to repeat all the 5 things. First thing is, repeat after me. Fearless decision making.
Fearless decision making.
Tactics.
Tactics.
Friends first approach.
Friends first approach.
Rigid execution.
Rigid execution.
And lastly, work ethic. Relentless work ethic.
Relentless work ethic.
Thank you. Thank you for repeating after me. It was in 2022 that I got the opportunity to be the manager of the demand planning team in my company. And the first thing that I got was that was the first opportunity when I got to execute the leadership qualities that I have built in the time. Unfortunately, a fire accident happened at one of my suppliers' factory. Now, just picturize this. You have a team, you spend crores of money on product development, you spend crores of money in marketing, sales and everything. But at the end of the day, what it is of use if you just do even a simple glitch in demand management? You are giving the whole advantage to your competitor, right? You build your customers and you have gifted it to your competitor because you did not have the stock at the right time. Now, the fire happened in the supplier's factory and that completely disrupted the entire system. This was the decision of one of my subordinates to have that vendor only in that category. Now the stake was all over on his head. And he could have been my scapegoat as well. But I decided to not disclose it out of my own division. I even had the empathy for my supplier, and therefore I decided to continue with the same supplier. And because that subordinate was responsible for this. I made him in charge of finding a factory for him within a week. And we did solve this problem. We did solve this problem with a firm decision and relentless determination. That is what it takes to be a captain cool and at the same time hard focused mentality. This mentality of captain cool and hardcore mindset does not only work in the corporates but also in the personal world. Because even in the personal world, you are the leader of your young kids or siblings or the child next door. With this determination and with this grit and relentless work, you will be able to be captain cool and find solutions in all the situations. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmasters. And now it's time for the last table topic. Any volunteers? Perfect, please come on stage. Hi Brahmadev, the topic for you is Jugaad versus innovation. Jugaad versus innovation. Toastmaster Brahmadev.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Brahmadev Tiwari and today I'm going to tell you about Jugaad versus innovation. So, as we all have been through that journey where laziness has given birth to innovation and leading to Jugaad. So, this is a story of old time when I was back in college and we were too lazy to even get up from bed and go to college. Everyone has been through that journey. And in the same journey, one day I was laying down on my bed and someone was ringing the bell. And I feel that urge of not getting up from my bed, and that led to me thinking, how can I develop something that can lead me to sleep more? In order to do that, I developed, there's a small thing that we call Arduino. Through that, I built a small lock system which can open door on my command. And as that happened, I led to open the door while laying down on my bed. So that was my journey of little Jugaad that helped me sleep more, and yeah, you can relate. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brahmadev. And yes, I agree, not just with him, with lot many, that my college days were full not just of Jugaad, but also its serendipitous moments where I was able to enjoy my college days a lot because of these two things. And with this, I would like to conclude the session, the first two sessions. I would like to invite Toastmaster Akshay to take Dr. G.
Thank you. Huge round of applause, guys, for all the speakers. There was two ice-breaking speeches today, and come on, guys, it was on another level. Actually, it was really on another level. I was not expecting that. It was a moment of serendipity for me. Whenever someone comes on stage and delivers any speech or any part of, you talk to the people out there and people hear to you, and when you go back to your seat, you want to know that how you performed here, how you were there, how was the stage presence, how was the connection with the audience, and especially for this thing, comes the role of the evaluator. I will not wait more for that thing, and I will call my first evaluator, Toastmaster Satendra, for evaluating Toastmaster Nitin.
Thank you. Before starting the evaluation, can I have the timings of Nitin's speech, please?
8 minutes, right?
Yeah, Nitin, the first side speaker.
Nitin is 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Thank you. What a marvelous speech Nitin you delivered today. You started with the phrase with full energy that caught everyone's eyes. People were engaged. The same you did while ending the speech with a good phrase, so that you have proper ending. The speech was full of good phrases. The English uses was really good, like fading away to land a job, lack of my command, and there he used certain hand gestures. I kudos to that. Apart from that, since the beginning of the speech, the vocal clarity was really good. Each of your word was audible to each of the audience. I am assuming till back Nitin was audible. So good for that. The vocal variety between these speeches and events was really good. Like you fought hard, you failed. So there I could see the variation of your voice going up and low. So that was really good. All in all, it was a really good speech. Just one feedback from my side. Use this stage. How you can do it is divide your speech into sections, and for one section you can stand at one place, then you can move to other one, then you can move subsequently. You can move forward, come backward to let people know the importance of an event. So that will be more impactful. All in all, it was really good speech. I am looking forward to listen more from you. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Satendra, for your evaluation. Now it's time to call our second evaluator, Toastmaster Mukul, to evaluate Toastmaster Revati's speech.
So, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Revati for completing your icebreaker speech, which means L1 P1. I would say it was a very good start, and it's another round of applause for Revati. Revati, the speaker was super confident and very focused on her speech. Her voice was so good that without mic anyone can listen it. She started with her journey with a different struggle, right, in terms of education system, how it's differentiated between girls and boys. She beautifully mentioned that one. I would say as an icebreaker speech, it is a very good start. However, I'd like to say a couple of feedback so that you can improve your next topic or next project. One is yes, use of floor. So that is when I saw that you are just standing here and you are just giving your speech. So instead of this, let's use this floor. So we have a big floor. Again, try to use again based on your topic and etc. while speech to use all these floor spaces so that you are more confident while you deliver your speech. As I told, your voice is very good, but now it's time to improve your tone. So tone means, when I'm talking about tone, when you are passing any message, or if you really see that you need to elaborate a little bit, then use your tone while delivering the speech. That is one point. And yeah, else I think that is a very good start. And again, thank you and congratulations for your completing L1 period.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mukul, for your evaluation. Now I would like to call the Associate Secretary of our club, Toastmaster Radha, to give the evaluation for Toastmaster Aiden's speech.
The miracle is not that I finished. The miracle is that I had the courage to start. This is what I learned from a power-packed speech with such a strong message. Kudos to you, Speaker 3, Toastmaster Aiden. Can we give a huge round of applause? A wonderful voice and a great delivery. There were so many amazing points from your speech, Toastmaster Eden. If I talk about the first one, I think it was clearly evident that our speaker has spent some good amount of time in learning and practicing about his body language, his gestures, his vocal variety, and tone and volume. So many examples. First, the start. How many times have you given up? The conversation between the masters, the angry one, the gestures, green-faced man. Look at the watch. Time and pain hit me. The second point, the structure. Now we should all agree to this point that our speaker has a wonderful control over the English language. His speech was beautifully decorated with some ecstatic words. So congratulations. And add to it, it has a personal touch. He talked about himself, his journey of completing a marathon and what all he faced. And that really motivated us. However, every marathon or run needs some sprints, some small breaks, or some sip of water. So here I am giving you some suggestions. The number one, tone. Now tone should not always be seen. Higher, wonderful, but sometimes tone should be moderated. I can't speak at this point, at this level every time. I have to slow down at certain points to emphasize on certain things. Second thing, the facial expressions. Now this is not a recommended one, but it is an additional objective given by the speaker to himself. So I would like to give a suggestion. Now we all know that our face contains 57 muscles, and most of the wonderful actors do something called facial training, facial expressions training. If you want to do better at your animated facial expressions, you can work on three things: eyebrows, eyes, and lips. Now these three things cover almost every expression. All in all, I just want to say that he definitely deserves extra points or a huge round of applause for three things. Number one, the speech title was not correctly pronounced, but he didn't put it on his face. Number two, he forget thrice. He took 3 long pauses, but that didn't stop him to complete his speech. And number 3, he shared his personal story. Just working on the tone and some animated facial expressions will make him a beautiful speaker. That's all. Over to you. General Evaluator, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radha, for that impeccable evaluation. Now it's time to call our final evaluator, who is also the PPPR of our club, Toastmaster Kevin, to evaluate Atul's speech, Toastmaster Atul's speech, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. What a wonderful speech it was. I mean, as an evaluator, you have given me a very hard job. It is literally difficult to find out a fault here,
But then let me start with the good points because I've got plenty to say. The speech is well prepared. It is very evident because otherwise there will be a lot of R's and pause. I think the R counter might also not have got much defects from Atul's speech because I literally noticed no R's or R's, no filler words. Speech was well delivered. There was very good hand motions, hand gestures. The body language was good. There was a very good audience connect. Everyone felt connected to what Atul was saying. So the objective of the speech was to determine the leadership style. And Atul's topic itself, which was cool captain, that itself actually showed that to become a composed person, calm person, but still make people or your subordinates do their work properly, which is a very good aspect that even I admire. Rather than just pushing people and being aggressive, it's not really creating an impact. So that is clearly delivered. Everyone got the point what Atul was trying to say. And Atul, even when I say audience involvement, Atul was picking out like few points. Sorry, I couldn't note it down, but he was telling us to reiterate that. So that was also an audience involvement. We also get involved or get into the groove of what Atul is trying to say. Only feedback that it was very hard to find, but I'm still trying to tell you. The only feedback that I would like to give you is probably become a little more louder, because that will create a lot of impact on your. I mean, it will get into the audience more. If you, I'm just taking the example of Aiden's speech here. Aiden, even though he had 3 pauses in between, his speech actually went into our heads. I mean, there's a reason for it because that's how powerful his speech was. The way the tone matters. That's the only feedback for you. And with that, over back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kevin. Guys, huge round of applause for all that. All the speakers, these evaluators might prove as a charity for all of you. Just hold on to their feedbacks and try to implement these feedbacks in your upcoming speeches. It will be a bit by bit, week after week, month after month. Keep on introducing these feedbacks or the things which they have told you in their evaluation in your upcoming speeches. It will be definitely beneficial for all of you. Before I move on, the voting links for the evaluators and best evaluators and the best speakers are already shared. So start voting. And now it's time to unleash my weapons. Timer, Arpita, please come and deliver your report.
Okay. We had 4 speeches today, 2 icebreakers and 2 prepared speeches. The time taken by icebreaker Nitin was 7 minutes. Second icebreaker by Revati was 4 minutes 27 seconds. Now come to the prepared speeches. The first one given by was Aiden. He took 7 minutes 29 seconds. And the second speech was by Toastmaster Atul, who took 7 minutes 28 seconds. Thank you.
It's time for the R counter. Vikas, please come and deliver your report.
So, here is the R counter report. SAF use more than 5 times R sound. So, so is the repeating phrase use. And PO Raj 3 times R. And phrases coming. Keyboard PUs, no filler words and crutch sound I have ever heard. General evaluator Akshay, no filler words and sounds. Timer Arpita, no filler words and sounds. Grammarian Ujjwal, no filler words and sound. Speaker 1 Nitin, no filler words and sounds. Revati, only 1 time that crutch sound. Speaker Adam, no filler words and sound. Speaker Atul, no filler words and sound. Then evaluator Satyendra, no filler words and sound. Evaluator Mukul, more than 5 times a sound, crutch sound I have heard. Evaluator Radha, 2 times a sound. Evaluator Kevin, then 3 times, so 2 times, like more than 2 times, and more than 5 times. Now coming to table topic speaker, Ritvi's 2 times a. Table topic suitcase, 2 times so. Table topic speaker Harsini, 2 times a sound and 2 times so. Repeating words. Table topic speaker Manikandan, 1 time a. Table topic Ramdev, and 4 times repeating word. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, for your evaluation. And now it's time to call our committee. Please deliver your report.
Okay, so as a librarian, the first responsibility is to list out the people who used word of the day serendipity. Nitin, Piyush, Mani, our guest, Ravin, Kevin, Atul, and Akshay were our users today of word of the day. And coming on to the good usage of language, I am very happy to share that our Right Field Toastmasters Club vocabulary is something that I feel it is very good. And some of the examples of good usage of words were perseverance, which means not giving up easily. Deja vu, that means something that you are feeling a strange feeling that something that is happening now has happened before. That is what deja vu means. Excruciating means immense pain. And resilience, infuriated, menacing, fortitude, Aiden had all these good words that we can take as an example of good vocabulary. Atul also had a lot of good words used like emulating MS Dhoni, that is Captain Cool, which means teaching to that level by imitating in a good way, imitating in a good way. And some good phrases were ice and veins, nerves of steel, cool as cucumber. I think we would have heard these phrases many times when we heard commentary about MS Dhoni's captaincy and his batting. So all these were the good things that happened in today's meeting. Now coming to the bad usage, I could just notice 2 instances. First was now again takes time. It should be now again it is time. The second was what it is of use. It should be it is of what use. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Grammarian, for your report. Now it's time for the general evaluation for the meeting number 30 of Whitefield Toastmasters. So I'll start from the pre-meeting rituals. All the meeting rules were filled up in advance for kudos to BPE team. Introductions were shared to everyone, TMOD, General Evaluator, Presiding Officers and Sergeant at Arms, because everyone gave their respective introduction. So kudos to that. Meeting poster. Guys, you have seen the meeting poster? The meeting poster for the today's meeting. It was really amazing. Kudos to you guys. Really amazing. That J thing was really good. Agenda was out in advance, so great job DP team. Opening formalities. Meeting started on 10:31. We were late by 1 minute. It's okay, might be. We can try a little bit from next time to start from 10:25, 10:28, something like that. Video setup was good, but I was expecting that audio setup because it's been 2 weeks now. The last week as well it was there, and this week as well. So maybe from the next week we can do work on that. Chairs were set up. There are a few general remarks before I go to the specific remarks. I put a poll in the role takers group. There is a WhatsApp role takers group in which I put the poll. There were around 17 participants or the role takers for this meeting, but not all put up their polls within the time. So I request you guys for the next meeting, for the 31st meeting, whoever the role player, just mark your polls there. If you have completed that task, just put on the remark. Okay, it will help us to evaluate which person is on what junction and if that person needs help or something like that, right? About the clapping, I know we want to tell the person on the stage that you are doing good and all those things, but try not to clap in between when the person is speaking. Wait for some time and wait for 2 or 3 seconds. If the pause is visible, just clap. And about the voting scanners which is being circulated, for this much audience, I believe there must be 2 or 3 scanners, I believe. So that's why it can be done pretty fast. Now moving on. Sergeant at Arm Piyush, can you raise? Yeah. Piyush, you did your job pretty well. Chairs were there before the meeting started. Everything was sorted. Board was pretty good. It was visible. Just a small suggestion here. Little bit of font can be bigger because the audience on the audience for the backbencher can see it well, and you can mention the meaning of the word. It will be better for the people because they might have to look into the mobiles. Other things are on point. You explained about the washroom, water, and all video recording everything. There are few suggestions. 2 I already mentioned. One is about the guest intro. You can just ask the name of the guest in 2 or 3 lines. Just ask about their intro because many of us do not know about them. Moving on to the presiding officer, Raj. Impeccable. Everything was on point. You introduced TMOD pretty well, so perfect. Talking about the TMOD Piyush, the theme was really good. It connected with the audience pretty well, and everyone came out with their own stories because Jugaad is in everyone's life, right? So everyone came out with their own stories, and it was relatable. So kudos to the team. My intro was pretty good. G intro was good, and you introduced all the speakers and evaluators except one, but it was because of the time. I know that. Thank you so much for that. Schedule of the meeting was managed well, and I believe it will be completed within the time. Just a small feedback. Toastmaster Nitin gave the speech. There could have been a little bit of feedback of 1 or 2 lines after he gave the speech. Just that. Moving on to the speakers, I will give a small highlight of your speech and a little bit of area of improvement. A small highlight, only one highlight and one area of improvement. That's it. Rest the evaluators have done their jobs. Toastmaster Nitin, it was the perfect example of icebreaker. Again, I would repeat that it was a moment of serendipity for me because I was not expecting that level of speech, that level of confidence. Yeah, there is one area of improvement which you can include in your upcoming speeches. Pauses. Pauses are really necessary for the audience to digest your story, to go along with you, to have a ride along with you. So you can work on the pauses. Moving on to the next speaker, Toastmaster Revati. Clarity and patience is what we can learn from your speech. You have that stance, you have those pauses and everything. And as an icebreaker, as it is your icebreaker speech, I don't have any area of improvement as of now because it was perfect. Maybe a little bit of stage movement because you were standing here, so maybe you can stand here if you are okay with that. So that is the one. Moving on to the Aiden's speech. Brilliant hand movement. Everything was pretty good. Vocal variety. There were pauses, but you managed very well. I can understand those things as a speaker. When you come here, no matter how many times you have repeated this speech back at your home, but when you come here, there is a lot of nerve. So still you managed well. Kudos to that. Only 2 things. One is the pauses, because your story was pretty good about the marathon and everything, but audience still take a little bit of time to digest and go along with you. And second, which can work wonders for you, reduce the number of words. Reduce it to 700, 800, something like that. Because you speak fast, but still I believe the words in your speech was pretty much. So that's why maybe you have to speak faster. Moving on to Atul's speech. Where is Atul? It was a lightning start, man. I almost went back to that moment. Everyone has lived that moment of 2011. And vocal variety was pretty good. Only a small thing I want to suggest you, that try to weave a single story along all the elements you have mentioned. So people will relate, and that's all for your speech. Timer Arpita, you have mentioned everything regarding your role, so kudos to that. Akantra Vikas, it was your first role and you did pretty well. you were confident and you were explaining your role, and afterwards when you came to deliver your report at that time as well, it was pretty much conveyed to everyone. Grammarian Ujjwal, you captured small things which is difficult to capture when you are sitting and listening as a audience, but you captured small details. That is very good, and it has to be in a grammarian. That aspect has to be there in the grammarian. So kudos to that. And again, Toastmaster Piyush, you have selected all the impromptu topics that were pretty well, and they related to the audience. And kudos to all the people who came up and nominated themselves for the impromptu topics. Thank you so much, and that's all for my evaluation, and you can always evaluate me right now or maybe at the end of the meeting. Thank you so much. Now I will hand over to the meeting to the presiding officer of today's meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for that wonderful evaluation and detailed, insights. I hope it will help everyone, improve and work and come here and do better next time. I hope you have got the voting links and voted for the best speech, role takers, evaluations, and etc. Have you done that? Can I have a raise of hands?
I've received 70 votes till now, so please.
So out of 28 or 29 people, we have only received 60-65%. So can we have the QR code circulated? I'll give you 30 to 45 seconds. We have a voting QR on this pillar as well. On my left.
The other one is different.
While we do the votes for the best role takers and the speeches, I have a couple of important announcements to make. So if you can just settle down, guys. All right. So we have a leadership development program which is available for all the executive members and also the members on the main club group. So if you want to take up roles and responsibilities in the Toastmasters fraternity, you can go ahead and register yourself. Details are there on the group itself. Okay. Other than that, I would like to make a special announcement. District 92 has been awarded as the best district in the globe. So can we have a round of applause? Guys, renewals are now open to all the existing members. I would request you to go ahead and avail the early bird offer. If you renew for the next term, which is from October 2023 to March 2024, you save $15, which is around 1305 INR. Please go ahead and do that. The VP membership team has been reaching out to each and every individual. They have been posting the details on the main group itself. If you have any questions, please reach out to the team. They will help you and guide you. We are on 23rd today, so we just have a week to go. Please do not miss out on the early bird offers, guys. Alright, so I'm just waiting for the final results. Before that, I would just like to, today we have 2 icebreaker speeches, and I must say, when I delivered my first icebreaker, I was holding few play cards in my hands. So kudos to Nitin and Revati. Revati, you did a fantastic job. So well done. Special mention on the L1, P2 or P3 speeches, guys. I have been in Toastmasters for almost 7 months on this club, and I have visited other clubs as well. I have not heard a powerful speech for L1 P3 which was delivered by Aiden today. except for the brain fade moments which you had, you will overcome that. And I must tell you, you are on the right path, and you should, reach out to your mentors. You should speak to more people who have been in this, public speaking platform. And I see you one of the prospects in the international speech contest from Whitefield Toastmasters. And guys, his journey has been just 1.5 months. He's been in this club for 1.5 months. So wonderful job, Aiden. Good job. So I am being told by the secretary that we have the final. So best speech evaluator for meeting number 30 goes to Radha, Toastmaster Radha. Best speaker, any guesses? Goes to Nitin. Best role player goes to Toastmaster Akshay Srivastava. Best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Ujjwal. Best tabletop speaker goes to Brahmdev. We at Whitefield Toastmasters Club believe in uplifting the spirits of the game. So on that, I would like to call Aiden Verghese on the stage for the wonderful speech you delivered. We'll just have a moment to capture this.
Yeah, just come closer. We won't get this.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can keep on clapping, guys. Kudos to the entire team and the helping hands. You are here on time. We started the meeting on time, and we are on time today. Our president of the club, Toastmaster Mazahir, distinguished Toastmaster Mazahir, since he's traveling for the next 2 weeks, we miss him. So if you're listening to me, Mazahir, we love you. And with that, I would like to adjourn meeting number 30. We have a group photo here with the entire club, with the guests and the esteemed members. Post that, we will have a group photo with the members.